everybody, welcome back to Fresh Baked Disney, the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. I'm your host David, and I am out in front of the Haunted Mansion. Now, you may have heard the Haunted Mansion is going under a little bit of a refurb, extended refurb as it were. It's going to close to take down the Haunted Mansion Holiday, and then they're going to stay closed for another couple months to do some interior upgrades. Well, paint and polish again, like we're talking about with Indiana Jones. But I always want to ask this question because I like to go a little deeper into these news stories. I like to speculate. I like to do wild speculation, maybe some rumor, maybe just a little blue sky, that kind of thing. And the question that I have for you and for myself and for Ron is going to be, what do you want out of the Haunted Mansion? Is the Haunted Mansion perfect just the way it is, or are there things that you'd like to see done in the Haunted Mansion? Now, we got a fast pass, you and I, Ron. We're going to be riding Haunted Mansion here in a little bit, but before we go in, it's a debate that we have every year, and I want to bring it up again. But this time it's a little bit, people just want to ask, how do you feel about the holiday overlay first?
You're asking the wrong person because I love it. I do.
Really? Well, that's why is that a wrong person?
Because I know the sentiment on Fresh Baked.
Well, I don't know if that's universal.
I'll say this. To say that I love the holiday overlay does not to take away from my love and affection for the original, because I do love the original. Yeah. They're just two different experiences, and I love them both. The Tim Burton, I love the film, I love Tim Burton's style, I love his art, and I think for this, it works great, so I do love it, and then when it goes away, I can't wait to see.
That's a common feeling amongst a lot of fans, I think. Some say it's here a little too long, maybe one season, but not two.
That's a production thing.
Right, no, I get why they have to do it, because you can't put it up at Halloween and then take it down in the middle of the Christmas season for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you gotta
and you can't not put it up at Halloween, I don't think, right?
Right. Well, exactly. Not only that, but it's opening the window to extend the destination people to come in. It gives them more opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
So once again, we're a victim of coming every week.
Yeah. Now okay, so personally, I am not, this is probably unpopular opinion, and I'm sure I'm in the minority. I don't like the movie.
I love it.
I mean, I get it. I understand why people like it. I'm not a fan of stop motion. So that kind of just gets in the way for me a little bit. So I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I do like, whenever I ride this for the first time, I'm like, that was cool. I love it. And then I'm like, after a few weeks, I'm done.
Yeah, I do think the fun. That's how I gauge things. Is when I get off, when I'm giddy. Like, this is fun.
That counts. That counts for something. Now, here's the question that I want to ask this year. It's kind of a new question, as opposed to just whether or not you approve of the overlay. Could you live without it? If they just decide, you know what, we're just going to cancel Haunted Mansion Holiday, we're not going to do that anymore. They don't have it at Walt Disney World, why should we have it here?
I'll answer it this way, saying it's the only overlay that I think needs to remain, because it's the illusion of adding in attraction.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I could live without any other change in the park or any other ride. I'm trying to think of them, but this is the one I do look forward to. This is the one that I think adds something. It has value to the park as a whole.
All right. Well, let's keep that in mind, because we're about ready to go ride Haunted Mansion Holiday. Get a little show in there, and then when we're done, we're going to talk about. Now, you got to keep in mind that we're talking about classic Haunted Mansion when we get out of there. About what kind of changes would you like to see them do? Put that in your head. What kind of changes would you like to see them do in the Haunted Mansion with this refurb period? Let's go ride.
All right.
Busy morning here in Haunted Mansion.
13-minute wait time.
Yeah, right.
I don't even want to know. 13. It was Friday the 13th yesterday.
All right, I already have a request, Ron. Before we even get in the ride, I already have one thing that I'd like to see them add to the Haunted Mansion before we even get in. I want music in the queue, just like they have here.
Yeah.
I want some scary music, some haunting music out here in the queue, because there is none.
There is none, but I think it's part of the overlay thing.
Well, no, I know it is prices for here, but I would like some in the regular Haunted Mansion.
Right. Yeah, I know. Talk about great queue and great exterior. I mean,
right.
This is the most beautiful exterior of any.
Yeah. I make a point. I did a video on the top 10 queues at Disneyland, and I made a point. There's a couple of situations. If you can't tell where the ride begins and ends, then that's a good queue. Because it's the queue that's like, okay, where? And Haunted Mansion is a perfect example of that. Because does the ride start in the dune buggy? Does it start in the stretching room? Where does the ride start? This building and going into a showroom on the other side of the berm?
No, well, I mean I am because I know exactly what is happening, but I'm not enjoying it.
See, I'm a super logical guy. Right. I'm grounded in logic at all times, and I still am able to, for whatever reason, I can suspend that, and I think I'm in, I mean, I know I'm not, but I feel like I think I am in the mansion the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I go with that too. You have to. You want to enjoy what you're doing.
Well, no, it's not so much that I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this. It's more like I just forget. I forget to be logical.
As you're enjoying it, but yeah.
It's like a place that perhaps you've seen in your dreams. Tale to begin. There's no turning back now. Please come all the way in.
All the way forward, please.
Was the nightmare before Christmas? The children nestled all snug in their beds would have nightmares of monsters and skeleton heads to survive. All good girls and boys must sit safe in their seats.
Rings of power.
Continue our holiday tour in no time at all. Continue
the first time in 10 years, I've got to stop right in front of Sally there. Got some great photos. Too bad I didn't have my fancy camera. time getting in the mindset of looking for things to upgrade because we were watching a different show.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
How's it going? Then, thinking about the Haunted Mansion, where I'm sitting there enjoying the Haunted Mansion Holiday. One of the things that I enjoy about the Holiday Overlay is that it pops more.
Yeah.
There's more light, more color, and that is one thing that I wouldn't mind seeing a little more. I mentioned this in the video we did originally on the topic when the news first broke, is that I would like to see more light, and by that I mean I don't necessarily mean like more light.
Right.
I don't want it to be brighter. I just want to see more. I want to, so maybe a little bit more of the I forget with the luminescence, or just make the colors come out a little bit more somehow. I don't know how that is.
You can work magic with lights.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like just a new light on the room or anything like that. It's I mean,
it's shadows, it's casting, it's what you're lighting up, what you're not lighting up.
So that's one thing. What about you?
Honestly, when it comes to this ride, thinking of the original Haunted Mansion, going in, I was like, honestly, the only thing that I think that I would want to upgrade is kind of like the old saying, if you want to get rich, take somebody else's idea and make it better. So everything that they have is great, but to your point, the lighting, each thing, now that we're this many years into the future from when it first came out,
sure.
Like, how can we make this exact thing, we've been living on forever, how do we make this, without changing it, better? How do we make it pop more? Lights, maybe movement, maybe angles, something. But I would just take every single thing that they have and upgrade slightly, because there's certain things I wouldn't touch.
Yeah, sometimes that's just the paint that you use, or the luminescent paint, or something like that. Or
the paint, the angles, like every little, like the clock and all the little elements and all the props that are in there. If they upgraded those with paint, and then the way the light hits it, it would change, subtle changes throughout the experience. I think I love it.
Here's something that I think a lot of our fans can get on board with. Let me run this by you. Going back to the bride as a victim, as opposed to the Black Widow bride. What do you think about that?
Interesting. I like her villainous.
Really?
I do. But as a victim, it hits you differently, certainly. I like her. It's more frightening to me when she's the bad one.
Well, and that goes towards another thought that I was having, because I think a lot of people would prefer that the attraction be a little bit more scary,
right?
Less silly, more scary, a more traditional Haunted Mansion ride. That might go towards that. The reason why I'm in favor of this is because I'm a sucker for history, and that's the original stories were all about. It was about the man of the house killing the bride. Like, that's how this ride, this attraction, this story was born, of somebody killing a bride. And I know
that's how Haunted Mansion kind of works.
Yeah, I know it's intense, and it's right. I don't know if they're trying to be, they're trying to soften the blow or whatever, but I think you should honor that. I really do. And changing her to a Black Widow bride, now it makes the story even more incomprehensible to me, because it's already it's hard to make a story out of this. The old thing about, there were two camps. There was the silly Mark Davis camp, and then there was the more serious Claude Coates camp that wanted it to be scary, and they tried to make both.
Yeah, well, they had to, though. You can't have, again, it goes back to the 4 quadrants. You got to get people on the ride, so if you make it scary, it's got to be a little
That's
bit
a fair
fun.
point, yeah.
I do like it.
Okay, so we don't change the bride. What about the fact that she's got a projected face as opposed to a straight-up, like, mannequin or animatronic? Yeah,
see, I like that because you have to stay consistent throughout, and Madame Leota and the ghost, the reverse imagery, throughout the ride, it's all projected faces.
Again, the Madame Leota projection was fairly new.
Right, but that's an upgrade that's worth it. Like, you need to do that, so take it and make it better. So her face, to make it look more ghostly, it has to be some sort of like Pepper's Ghost, or it has to be something rather than a practical.
Yeah, I think so. Just for whatever reason, like me, my logical self, the effect does not. I think it's because we're too close. Like, I can see, like Madame Leota, I'm not so close to her that the projection has a much more of a lifelike.
Yeah.
But we're so close to the bride that I can see the
That's
projection on her face.
Yeah, Madame Leota looks great. The whole room needs work, but her itself is fine.
Yeah.
They could do a lot in a seance room besides just her.
That was something that not Tony Baxter, Tom Morris. I have his name right. They did a panel at the at a horror con in Long Beach. I can't remember the name of it. Midsummer Night's Scream. Yes, not Dream, but Scream.
Right.
Midsummer Scream, I think it was called.
Scream.
Yeah.
It has to be Scream.
Yeah, and he mentioned that one of the things that he would like to, or was it Tony Baxter? It was Tony Baxter. He was on that panel also.
Now I agree.
He said he would like to see them do more. He thinks they can do more. They might even do more in that seance room.
What?
Yeah.
I feel really good right now.
I don't know if
I
that's...
didn't know that, but I just said that on camera.
So...
Print, stamp.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, to be honest, look, that Madame Leota is amazing. That look is amazing. They have cards hanging. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, the whole tarot cards and the instruments is kind of meh for me.
It wasn't a reach to call that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what they're talking about, replacing that, because that's in the dialogue, that's in the script. Trivia for you: do you know where that came from? The script that the incantation that she's reciting was not originally written for this attraction.
I'm sure I've read it. I don't know.
And this isn't in our secrets video because I didn't know it at the time. But I want to say Blackbeard's Ghost. Okay, just confirmed Blackbeard's Ghost, and that's on Disney Plus. Maybe we could check that out and see if we can spot the book itself.
Right.
And then the spell is in that book.
I've seen that movie several times. It is.
I don't know if he actually recites the incantation in the movie, but the book and the spell are in the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, cool, right? Anyway, so the fact that the spell does reference tambourines and all that. So I don't know if you can. I guess you could get around that, but
storytelling.
The only hang-up we have to that possibility of Disney doing something in the seance room is that it came from Tony Baxter, who isn't really working for Disney anymore, and they don't consult with him at all. I don't think. He gets invited to events, but he's not a working Imagineer anymore. So I'm not sure what impact or what input he might have on an actual refurb, and why they would consult with him to begin with, I don't know.
Because his footprint is so
Well, yeah, you know that. You believe that. I believe that. We all know that with our brains, but Disney and Tony don't get along anymore. All right, what else? Let's see. The only other thing that came to mind was there was some stuff that they did for the 50th. When we did when we rode this on the 50th party, the one night only, or 2 nights only, they had actual actors in the ride. They did?
Yeah.
The
3 ghosts? Is that what?
The hitchhiking ghosts were actors.
The hitchhiking ghosts.
And they put a guy in the suit of armor. He was out there doing stuff. Would you like to see that permanently?
Of course, absolutely.
Do you think that doing it all the time would kill the magic of that, or do you think?
Nope. Because you're creating an experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience. That is one of those unexplained things that you don't realize it until you're in it, until you're experiencing it and you're seeing it. I think it would absolutely.
I would tend to agree. I think that I do get the fact that you make it special, you make it unique by not doing it very often, but they don't have. I think that Disney would benefit by adding more live actors to all kinds of
100% agree with that.
In-ride
Do you get sick of seeing Mickey Mouse walking the park?
No, not ever. And I would like to see live actors in Rise of Resistance or Smuggler's Run.
I'd
like to see live actors in a lot of attractions. Put some in the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I do think that adding that, maybe not on all rides. Like there's certain places that it probably wouldn't work. Like putting a miner on Thunder Mountain.
It doesn't have to be every ride, but
right.
I would just like to see them do that.
On Haunted Mansion, I definitely
be great.
think that.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. Imagine seeing some pirates walking around in Pirates of the Caribbean. They do that for
Promos for the movie.
some special events. They did that at Walt Disney World for I can't remember what it was. If it was for Halloween.
Yeah, but that was Johnny Depp himself.
No, it was regular cast member actor types walking around doing
Can you
the bit.
imagine Red right now? Red, it would be perfect. Or the guy with the pigs. There's a couple of select locations.
That would increase the rideability so much. I think the rewritability, I should say.
Rewritability, absolutely.
Because you could collect like experiences.
You sure could.
Did she or didn't she? Did he do this thing or did he do that thing?
Because they'd go off book because there'd certainly be
Right.
they'd have the leeway to do one of three themes or
Yeah,
4 or 5.
right.
It would add to it. These type of things I never say because I get what you're saying. Why it's like, well, we've seen it, we'd get over it. I don't believe that.
Well, it would lose its charm.
It would lose. Well, there's something.
Hi.
There is something to be said for that. It would lose. Like that's why we don't want change. That's certainly why we don't want change.
Yeah.
Because we love that nostalgic element of things. That being said, it will add value. It will add something to it by doing adding to the experience adds everything.
I feel like that's kind of the future almost.
Well, I absolutely agree with you.
It's an evolution.
That's what we were talking about long time ago with Batu.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense right now. It's weird to us. It's foreign to us.
Yep.
We haven't seen it before. Guess what, folks?
Yep.
Guess where theme parks are going?
Westworld.
Westworld.
Go watch Westworld.
Westworld. You're right.
Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode of Fresh Baked. I want to hear from you, though. What do you think? What would you like to see happen at the Haunted Mansion? Is it perfect, just the way it is? Because Haunted Mansion is right up there in the top 10 rides of all time. Right, Ron?
Oh my God. It's amazing.
I'm sure that most people think it's just fine the way it is, but I would like to hear from you. If you could plus it somehow, in the words of Walt Disney, what would you do to the Haunted Mansion? What would you like to see them change or not change? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notifications, like the video, share them with your friends, follow us on Twitter at Fresh Baked Disney, that's Fresh with no E, and on Instagram at _Fresh Baked. And you can go to our website at freshbakedisney.com. We love you guys very much, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!